And I welcome everybody this afternoon on a beautiful Sunday, our first Sunday in May. My name is Elise Feldman. I am delighted to be a member of the executive board of the Axelrod Performing Arts Center and president of the Axelrod Contemporary Ballet Theater. We are in Deal, and we are known as the Axelrod. I'm delighted to present to you today Dr. Arthur Topilow, my dear friend, who is president of our board. The theater is currently dark while we wait out this virus pandemic that we have. So we decided to ask Art to play the piano in support of the theater, and he is delighted to do so. Art is a semi-retired hematologist, oncologist, physician, and that's in his spare time because I think he plays the piano for us a lot these days. And he's known to many of you. He's been playing the piano in public since his high school days. We hope to have the theater up and running as soon as possible, but you can imagine that your support at this time is critical. So we wanted to give you a flavor of the performing arts and hope you will enjoy hearing Dr. Art today.
Hi, that was Sweet and Lowdown, and I'm Art Topilow, and here to support the Axelrod Performing Arts Center. Theater is dark right now, as you know, but we hope to get it up as soon as possible, so that would do it. Before I get started, I just wanted to mention, this certainly is a different venue for me. I wanted to mention some of my teachers early on. I studied with Nina Dobkin in Bayonne as a youth. And other teachers included Sid Gleach, Lenny Tristano, Howard Kravitz. And my mentors include the great Dick Hyman, Morris Nanton, Dave McKenna, George Shearing, Bernie Berger, and also Carl Topilow. I have to mention Carl Topilow. I've been playing in public from age 15, starting in bars in Union City. I did summers during college and medical school in the Catskill Mountains. I played at Zolkins, Birchwood Lodge, Fallsview, Leibowitz, Pineview. And I played for Rodney Dangerfield, Mousy Lawrence, Larry Adler, and our own Stan Harper. Larry Adler and Stan Harper were harmonica players, great harmonica players. I'm going to be featuring the verses of the Gershwin songs that I'm going to play. Gershwin had a great lyricist in Ira, so all the songs I'm playing today will feature all the verses. For example, in Biding My Time, it's some fellas have to tiptoe through the tulips. Some fellas go on singing in the rain. Some fellas keep on painting skies with sunshine. Some fellas keep on swinging down the lane. So here's how it goes. there's biding my time, and here's a little taking off the jacket so I can continue to play and be comfortable. So, what I'd like to play next is a piece that Gershwin wrote, and he calls it Two Waltzes in C. And what it is actually two waltzes, and first you have the first theme, and then the second theme, and then it's played together. So here's the first theme. That's the first theme. And now we have the second theme. And a little later on in the piece, we have them both together. And that's it. So we have an introduction that I'll play, and then the themes, and then there's an ending, and it's all full of augmented chords, which is something like this, which he puts it together in a very clever fashion. So here's Two Waltzes in C. R's and C. Okay, so I just want to mention a few things about the Axelrod Theater. I've gotten to play with some great people, and in some of the concerts there, some luminaries include Ann Hampton Calloway, Danny Backer, who was voted as Cabaret Singer of the Year with the Margaret Whiting Award. Randy Sankey came to the Axelrod Theater along with Jay Lenhard, the great bass player. Ken Peplowski, the clarinet player, who was a winner of the Downbeat poll for clarinet multiple times. Aaron Weinstein, the violinist and comedian. Warren Vacher, the trumpet player. Vince Giordano, a bass player who has a whole band and does music from the 1920s. Ed Polster, the trumpet player. And Dick Hyman, the great pianist, came down. Dick Hyman recently won the Lifetime Achievement Award from the National Endowments of the Arts, and it was a wonderful thing. I actually was down there when he received the award. And that's about it right now. I'm going to play the next song, and it's going to include the verse, and you'll know the song. By the way, if you have the lyrics in front of you, which you should have received when you signed up for this, just open them up to the songs and you can sing right along. I won't hear you, but sing anyway. I was a stranger in the city, out of town with the people I knew. I had a feeling of self-pity. What to do, what to do, what to do. The outlook was decidedly blue. But as I walked through the foggy streets alone, it turned out to be the luckiest day I've known. A foggy day in London town had me low. Had me down. I viewed the morning with such alarm. The British Museum had lost its charm. How long, I wondered, could this thing last? The age of miracles hadn't passed, for suddenly I saw you standing there, and in foggy London town, the sun was shining. Everywhere. That's called the Foggy Day Samba. Okay, so Gershwin, of course, had this great lyricist, Ira Gershwin, and he wrote this novelty song, which I really like, and I'm going to play it for you. with me. Oh, but it's chronic. Do you need a tonic? Oh, can't you see? A dumb thing is the matter with me. I'm in condition. I need no physician. What can it be? You can help me out. What it's all about. I've got fidgety feet, fidgety feet, fidgety feet. Oh, what fidgety feet, fidgety feet, fidgety feet. Say, mate, come and be my sway mate. How can anyone resist that rhythmical beat? You will never go wrong, never go wrong, never go wrong. If you toddle along, toddle along, toddle along. All I need's a partner to make my life complete. Two more fidgety, fidgety feet. You will never go wrong, never go wrong, never go wrong. If you toddle along, toddle along, toddle along. All I need's a partner to make my life complete. Two more fidgety, fidgety feet. Fidgety feet. So in case you were wondering, I'm using this iPad and I have all the music programmed in, and all I have to do is hit the foot pedal and it'll turn the pages, or I could just touch the screen and go to the next page. So it's pretty neat. I have over 300 songs in there right now, and the program was really very inexpensive, only about $10 or $15, and it does everything you'd want it to do. So that's the story about it. Oh, it also comes with a pencil called an iPencil. So you can write little notes on the screen and you can erase them very easily. So in case you need an iPencil, this is what it looks like. The next song you'll recognize. I did some reharmonization and maybe you'll like it. thank you. So we were talking. If you look on the website, you can see that the screen showed that we weren't going to call the whole thing off. So I figured I would play "Let's Call the Whole Thing Off." Let's call the whole thing off. So the story goes that Gershwin came down to Monmouth County to stay with someone on a farm, and they had dinner there, and Ira was with him, and they were talking about pass the potatoes, pass the tomatoes. So they say he got the inspiration for tomato and tomato, potato, potato from this trip to Monmouth County, which who knows if it's true, but we're going to accept it anyway. The next tune I'd like to play is called Impromptu in Two Keys. It was written in 1924, but it wasn't published until 1973. It's very interesting because it goes in two keys at really the same time. And what that means is the right hand is playing in the key of C. The left hand is playing in the key of D flat. So it goes like this. And then it goes all in D flat. So it's kind of wandering back and forth between two keys at the same time and then just one key. So here it is, Impromptu in Two Keys. Okay, Impromptu in Two Keys. So next song is very interesting because I think that Ira really outdid himself when he wrote these lyrics in the verse in particular. So here is How Long Has This Been Going On? As a tot, when I trotted in little velvet panties, I was kissed by my sisters, my cousins and my aunties. Sad to tell, it was hell and inferno, no worse than Dante's. So, my dear, I swore, never, never more. On my list, I insisted that kissing must be crossed out. Now I find that I was blind, and how, lady, how I've lost out. Okay, so just to talk a little bit more about my piano career, I've had some notable performances, which I'd like to mention. I played the Rhapsody in Blue with the Doctor's Orchestra as a medical intern, plus playing with Dick Hyman at the Axelrod Theater on 3 different occasions, just on 2 pianos, was absolutely a thrill for me. Plus, I also got to play for Bernadette Peters in Cleveland. Carl got me that gig. I had 2 State Department tours of Italy with my brother Carl. I performed the Schumann Piano Concerto in New Jersey with the Garden State Orchestra in Asbury Park. I played for Tishon Krenyakov, who was the culture czar of Russia, and I played in his office in Moscow. I had a duet with Nikolai Petrov, one of the great Russian pianists, and played several times under the baton of my brother, Maestro Carl Topilow of the Cleveland Pops Orchestra. An interesting thing is I got to sit in with musicians all over the world, including Peru, Ecuador, France, India, Japan, Costa Rica, Iceland, Brazil, China, Vietnam, Switzerland, Cambodia, and Mongolia. So 18 countries. And the United States, I sat in with various groups in San Francisco, New York, San Diego, Orlando, Cleveland, and Chicago. So that's my summary of where I've played with other musicians throughout the world. So the next song is going to be a very nice Gershwin tune with a nice verse. Nothing seemed to matter anymore. Didn't care what I was headed for. Time was standing still. No one counted till it came and knocking at my door. next one has a wonderful verse as well. Now that I have found you, I must hang around you. Though you may refuse me, you will never lose me. If the human race is full of happy faces, it's because they all love that wondrous thing they call love. All right, that's He Loves and She Loves. I also wanted to mention some unusual venues that I've played. I played in the hot air balloon in Kenya. I played sliding on the piano bench on a ship in the Southern Ocean off Antarctica, so every time the ship would roll to the right, I would slide to the right, and then slide to the left with each roll. I played with locals in the street in India on an accordion that had been cut in half, and the only thing we could play together was what they called French, which was... So we played that a couple of times. I played on my keyboard in a picnic in the woods in France with some local players. I played for school children in Bhutan. I played in the Working Men's Cafe in Croatia. I played for locals in the jungles of Peru and in Venezuela as well. And we also played in a restaurant in Portugal for a singing group that just entertained us. And after they finished singing, I pulled out the keyboard and I had our tour group entertain them. So that was very interesting. Okay, so I have 2 more songs to do. You'll know them all. The first song is very interesting. It's wonderful, but I think Ira Gershwin outdid himself on this song, particularly on the verse. There's the male part, which is life has just begun, Jack is found in steel, etc. But the most interesting part to me is the female part. And Ella Fitzgerald sings, and it goes, "Don't mind telling you, in my humble fash, that you thrill me through with a tender pash. When you said you care, imagine my emotion. I swore then and there, permanent devotion. You made all the other boys seem blah. Just you alone filled me with ah." Now, that's just brilliant. And here it is. really sad but true. All dressed up, no place to go. Each evening I'm awfully blue. I must win, some miss. Can't go on like this. I could blossom out, I know, with somebody just like you. So, oh, sweet and lovely lady, be good. That's it. Hope you like Gershwin. Thank you very much.
Well, Arthur, I certainly enjoyed working with you and watching you develop this. It's been a tremendous pleasure for me, and I hope everybody has enjoyed it. You forgot one credit, though. You
Yes.
accompaniment for our dancers for the ballet.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Yes. The dancers for the ballet. In fact, I get to play the piano for the ballet class,
That's
which
right.
is really interesting. Gabriel Jalnik is there, and he tells me just what the tempo is, and I pick up any song I want in that tempo, and I play it for them, and it's been really terrific playing for the ballet as well.
I was dancing here in the background. You couldn't see me. And I had a thoroughly good time. And if anybody wants to see the dancers in action, even though Dr. Art's not playing, we do classes all week long. Gabriel Chachnik has set up a wonderful syllabus, and you could all tune in. And if you are dancers at heart, you could dance just like you sang behind the scenes here. You could dance with us. We hope to bring you more. Dr. Art, it'd be wonderful if you could want to do this again. We'd love to have you. And watch the streaming and the announcements that Axelrod Performing Arts Center will present to you, our audience and patrons. And someday I hope we'll all see you back in the theater the not too distant future, but in the meantime, you can help us deliver wonderful, wonderful entertainment to you online through Zoom. Thank you all. Thank you all. Thank you, Dr. Art. Thanks,
Yeah,
Dr.
yes. Okay, yeah, we have Danny Backer tentatively scheduled for the end of August.
Wonderful.
So that'll be fun as well. And then Greece in the fall.
Okay. All right. Thank you. Have a good afternoon, everybody.